Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Alex Brooks, and today is the 27th day we've been shooting. So, day 27. I'm Today I want to spend time talking about customer stuff. How to figure out, what's the right customer for you, what customer makes sense. And the reason I want to talk about that today is the past few weeks we've been bringing on a lot of clients, and one of the things that I have started to think about is how important it is to identify if a client or a customer is a good fit with your business. We've had some companies that we've had to part ways with, which is totally fine. That happens. That's a part of business. And we've brought on some great companies, but when you start to bring on a lot of new companies, it can be hard if you don't have a system to identify what clients are the best fit for your business, and which ones aren't. And if they aren't, how do you deal with those? So, but first, I'm gonna start with, how are you guys getting new business? I want to ask you guys that question. For us, we've been using freelancing sites, going to doing meetups, the virtual meetups, referrals have been a big thing. We haven't been really getting on the phone and doing any sales. So yeah, the main areas that we've been getting business is, using different freelancing sites, referrals, and going to meetup events, virtual meetup events. But I'd love to hear how you guys are approaching getting new clients. What's working for you? What's not working for you? And yeah, I'd love to hear that from you guys. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I want to go back to it, is every customer that you get isn't worth your time, and that's hard to take in when you first start your business, because you're just trying to get a customer and you just want to be able to provide whatever service or product you have for that person or company. But as you grow your business and you bring on more customers, you'll start to have great experiences, and you'll have some experiences that aren't so great that will help you, as long as you're open to it and you're mindful of it. It will help you rethink how you recruit or bring on new clients. One of the things that I've been doing is, and it's not perfect, but it's good to be able to have it written down. I've written down some of the things that, if a client has these qualities, it's a deal breaker for me. And then also, I've written down certain characteristics or certain behaviors or certain patterns that are a no-go for me. And the reason why I'm doing that, I do that, and I'm continuing to do that, and I'm bringing that up now because one of the things, and I talked about this before, is bringing on some of the wrong companies can really slow your momentum. They can drain your time and steal you away from the clients who deserve your time. You don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that you are investing your time in the best way possible. And when you have companies that may take way more time than they need to, or it is an emotional drain for you, you have to be mindful of that. So I'm always refining how I define that. It's not a perfect rubric where you can just look at exactly everything and say, okay, this is I'm pushing this company out, or I'm going to keep working with this company. But I have an idea, and I have some things written down that help me understand what makes the most sense working with a company. But one of the biggest things I'll tell you guys, and I'd love to hear some of you, the list that you guys have. One of the biggest things for me is when you start working with a company and they try to devalue what you're offering. That's a big red flag in terms of, if you know what your service is worth and they're constantly trying to get a discount, that's a bad thing. You don't want to work with them. And it's not so much because, I would say one of the biggest things is, a lot of times when you work with companies like that, is is not about you. Sometimes they just don't have the budget. They don't have the money and or the consistent income. And the biggest thing with that is that don't come across in saying don't have enough money to afford this. It may come across of trying to say what you're doing. Can you offer it at a lower price? So I've experienced that in the past, but definitely have learned from it and have modified how I approach my pricing to make sure it makes the most sense for me. Which at the end of the day, it has to make sense for you first, because you have to pay your team. And if you're not paying them, well, or taking care of them at their standards, then they're going to leave and not produce quality work. And that's what you need, quality work. With that being said, the last part of this talk is, do you have an ideal customer? Have you written down some of the ideal things that you like about current customers you have? I've started to do this. I've started to take some profiles of some of the clients that I'm working with, just so I can see if I know how to attract more of those clients. Because the more good clients you have, the better experience you have, and the easier it is to grow your company. So those are a couple thoughts for you guys for today. I am going to check out, and I got a busy day today. I have a few meetings. I've been reshifting things for the Digital Shift Summit since we're changing the date, but I'll see you guys tomorrow.